Hello. Oh, I think it's happening. Good morning. Wow. Elizabeth S. Craig and AllyDeatherageArt are here right from the get-go. That's quality group. Thank you so much for being here. I'm trying something new today. I am actually streaming just directly to YouTube. I'm going to try muting myself. Seems to have worked. Well, I guess I should say something. Seems like it worked. I've always used StreamYard, which I like very much, but I'm streaming too much. Apparently, they're like, hey, you're using our service a lot, which is great, but we want you to pay us a lot of money to keep using it as much as you want. And I said to StreamYard, I don't want to pay you that money right now. Look, you're great. It's nothing personal. I like your service, but I'm just not feeling it. So there are limitations. So I can't bring up like my fancy fun timers that way. So instead I'm going to show the timer. I'm pretty sure it's going to be backwards. Yeah, it's going to be backwards. That's okay. We're gonna go lo-fi. We're just gonna go lo-fi, and we're gonna see how that works. I tried researching settings for like flipping things around, and I couldn't find anything. I couldn't do it within my camera settings. So it's just a simple day. I have my timer playlist. Also a change is, oh boy, we got an ad. Has finally made an appearance. Yep. And my mute button was covered up by the thing. All right. Isn't it funny that this is lo-fi? Like I remember the days of encyclopedias. We were talking about that. I was talking about that recently with someone. I think it was on a live stream. So a couple different things as well. I decided to go from 5:45 to 7:15. That extra 15 minutes means that I can do, I think I'm going to start out with a 10-minute sprint, do 2 25s and then end with a 10 as well. I'm going to try that. Still figuring out format. Also, I was listing out yesterday all of the different things that I want to achieve this week. And I was like, oof, 3 live streams is not going to cut it. And so I decided to do every day this week. Wow. Okay. Well, we'll figure this out. Show a timer. That might work. Okay. So without further ado, let me just knock everything over. I had this all set up the other day, and now it's just like everything's falling over. I guess it's Monday, right? I guess that's like stereotypical Monday-ness. Gonna probably need to get a different timer because you can't really see that one because the screen is so light and it's backwards. Okay, well, it'll still make a noise for us. So we're gonna go with it because the sprint is the most important. Oh, I've been talking for 15 seconds of it. Okay, I'm gonna mute. We're gonna get started. Let's do a 10-minute productivity block. Excuse me. I think that worked okay to have this little guy here on a stand. I could see it. I mean, looking at my screen, I could see it. Time was backwards, but I felt like I adjusted. Okay, we're on the path toward getting this new format figured out. Elizabeth, what are you working on this morning? I'm assuming you have 2 drafts of a cozy mystery that you are writing pulled up. Are you writing? Are you editing? What's going on over there in your cozy mystery world? Or are you working on something totally different? And also, if you're here and writing or doing some form of morning productivity, I would love to hear about it. So the reason that I decided to, this is not the one I want. The reason I decided to switch formats, or just, I guess, add another 10 minutes, is because I really get a lot out of doing morning pages. And doing the live streams in the morning took me out of that part of my morning routine. But morning pages has been, since I started doing them in 2019, I've found that I find a lot of solutions there. So my morning pages, I tend to, you write out kind of whatever's in your head, you plop it out, right? It doesn't have to be anything great. It's not for writing quality, it's for getting stuff out of your head. And I would write down things I was struggling with, things I wanted to change, and then throughout the course of then writing, I would come to a solution. And that's really changed a lot of things in my life. So giving that up for about the last 6 or 7 weeks that I've been doing these live streams has been okay, but I have seen the difference. And so I really missed it. So I decided to add on the 10 minutes at the end so that I could start out doing morning pages. And it seemed to work for me. Okay, Elizabeth. I can't turn it down. All right. Elizabeth says, okay, thought the timer worked fine. Great. 451 for that sprint and cozy draft. You're right. Switching to the next one. Nice. Oh, you've heard a lot of good things about morning pages. Yeah. I used to journal. I mean, if you're journaling once a week, that's far more consistent than I used to journal. Something about morning pages just kind of hit differently. And there was like a big boom a few years ago. All of these people on YouTube talking about morning pages. That's where I heard of it. And took me a couple of years to get into that habit. And then I have discovered that it has led me to journal more often, not just in the morning. So it's worked for me. I think it probably just depends on the person. But originally it comes from, maybe you know this, from a book by Julia Cameron called The Artist's Way. What I think is so cool about that is that this lady wrote the book The Artist's Way, which is supposed to be kind of like a spiritual boost to artists' creativity. I haven't read the book itself. I've flipped through it. But she wrote that like 25 years ago. Can you imagine, like, how cool would it be to publish something and then 25 years later, this whole new generation of people discovers your writing and takes so much from it. And then she has had, I don't know enough about her to know if it's accurate to say that she's had a career renaissance, because she may have been just like going strong this whole time. But maybe it's just it opened up a whole new audience to her writing, and now she's super active on social media. I think it's such an inspiring story. Yes, do what works and stick with it. And I agree. It's a really cool journey. I think she's publishing a new book. I think I saw that on her social media. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started with our 25-minute sprint. This little guy is ready to go. Oops, missed it. Ooh, how did that one go for you? A nice 25-minute. That was a good one for me. I didn't realize how much I had done. I'm working on podcast episodes. I'm in a period of time here these last few weeks and the next few of getting a bunch of podcast episodes ready to go, scheduled for as much of my current season as possible. At least the episodes that I am just writing and recording myself. Doesn't include all of the interviews I plan to do. So I'm trying to time batch the types of episodes that I am working on. So I got one, an intern had done a good job of editing it. So I was just going over it. It's pretty much finalized now. So in this next time block, I will finalize that completely, get it uploaded and scheduled, and work on the social media for it. And then I'll be able to knock that one off my list entirely. Elizabeth writes like the wind. The smoke rolls off her fingers. I know that those are two different metaphors, but I like both of them. It's like the wind, like the Patrick Swayze song. Anyone? Dirty Dancing? His originally recorded song for Dirty Dancing. She's like the wind. Anyway, also though, as she's writing, she's like 731 on the other draft. Thank you for your kind words, Elizabeth. It is my favorite feeling in the whole world. I love working ahead. I love it so much. It's probably one of my favorite things, getting things done in advance. I am so much more motivated to work on things months ahead of time. But if a deadline is really around the corner, and things have prevented me from being able to work on it or something, that stress. I know a lot of people work well under deadlines. I can make a deadline and I can do that, but it's not ideal for me. The outlining, yeah. So AllyDeatherageArt, maybe you may have been there. Elizabeth, were you part of the whole micro outlining discussion? It happened over the course of a few different streams. I don't remember if it was mine, if it was Ally's, a combination of the two. They all blur together. I had never heard the term micro outlining before, but the second I heard it, I was like, yes, that's what I like to do as well. I haven't done it for a fiction piece yet, but I have done it for many, many academic pieces. And then if I have like big grants, oh man, especially with grants, applying for that we're applying for the Dragonfly Home, my nonprofit, micro outlining helps so much with that because you're managing a lot of information and you want to make sure that it flows for the reader and you're not missing anything. Oh, micro outlining really helps with that. I will say this though, for creative nonfiction, I have been working on a sort of memoir for a few years, and micro outlining does tend to help with that as well. Yeah, because then you have it all planned out and you just fill stuff in. It works for me, at least. I'm with you on that. All right. I also spent a couple minutes during that. Let's see if it'll. Okay. During that last block, researching maybe timers that will show up better on here. I do miss having the little ticker scrolly thingy going across the bottom of the screen, so that people who are new here, I can write, we're muted for a 25-minute block or something like that. It's a nice feature. On the other hand, it seems like so far, most people who have come to my live streams are familiar with the setup. And so they're probably not clicking on like, what is happening here? Like they probably assume that we're on mute. I thought about writing a sign, but it will be backwards. So still working out the kinks. Also, I considered just going back to good old Zoom. I don't have a paid Zoom account right now, but it is less expensive than StreamYard. Wait, it's got a lot of options. Basically, I just need to do some research. But I think that this works for now. And then on my longer Friday morning live streams, my thought is I will go ahead and use StreamYard for those. But we'll see. It's probably going to transition here. I think just like actually Elizabeth was just writing, you find something that works and you stick to it and you sort of tweak it as you go to make it better. But the most important thing is just being here, having the habit, showing up for anyone who is watching, showing up for myself, and then the little technology things, they'll get worked out. So that's my thought for now. I am a little bit of a perfectionist, and so the fact that it is, I just thought of some people that would laugh at me if they heard me say that I'm a little bit of a perfectionist. They would point and laugh at me saying little bit. I'm rather a perfectionist, and so the fact that it isn't perfect, there's a part of me that I have to compartmentalize and be like, it's okay. Oh, Elizabeth, the timer works just fine the way I have it. You see it on other streams? Right, yes. One of the first author tubers who streams consistently that I ever saw is Brooke Passmore. Are you familiar with her, Elizabeth? She has a little like kitchen timer she calls it Bro, and that's what she puts up on the screen as well. And I just can't remember if it's flipped around properly or not, which means the brain probably flips it around as needed because brains are fancy like that. Okay, alrighty. Well then, without further ado, let's go ahead. We'll start up our next 25-minute sprint. The end of that one really caught me off guard. I saw, what's funny though, is I looked at it and it said 54 seconds. And in that 54 seconds, that was long enough for me to completely forget that it was ending and move on to something else. A very productive time block for me. Got that episode uploaded, got it all scheduled and ready to go. So now, that was an unexpectedly productive time because I didn't realize how much was done for that. So that is scheduled for April 14th. 1, 2, 3. Oh, man. 1, 2, 3. So I have 4 episodes scheduled and 3 weeks ahead. And now I'm pulling up the next one. Oh, it's such a relief. So that means that I don't have my highlighter in here with me. If I did, I would cross it off my list. Oh, I don't have the booklet I need. Don't have my highlighter in here. See, what happened was I tidied up over the weekend. I did a bunch of decluttering, got some things sorted away, which is great. But now it's all put away. And I'm like, oh, right, it's in its spot. Not worth going to get up. But I love that moment where I will uncap my pink highlighter and I will swoosh it across that category, that row on my grid, which means done, completely done. I was very absorbed in my work. It's true, Elizabeth. Thank you so much. You answered blog comments, scheduled social media for Twitter, and worked in a micro outline for one draft. Sounds like you were super absorbed in your work as well. Oh, Elizabeth, listen to this. Also, during that time, I found you, which sounds real creepy now that I've said it out loud, but I found your author page on YouTube and I wanted to post it here. Double check that that is correct, but I think it's you. With all of you are such a prolific writer with beautiful book covers. And I really like this one, Murder on the Ballot. I don't know. I love that title so much. And I like you have a very realistic kitty on some of your books. And then you have this very artsy black cat, which makes me think of Le Chat Noir in France, famous club. A Body at Bunko. Assuming I'm right, and this is you. I guess I should double check. That looks like me. That's a positive thing. Yeah, A Body at Bunko, though. Listen, I have known some ladies who play bunco, and that is it's just so fun. A Dying Shame. You have such great titles on here. I just love it. Oh my. It looks like you have also had some of them translated into Spanish. That's so cool. A Body in the Garden. I'm looking at, I think, the Spanish translation. Or maybe this looks like German as well. Is it Spanish or is it Portuguese? Actually, it looks like maybe you have both on here. Wow, that's so cool. Okay. Cover designer is great. Help cozies and puns. That's your passion, right? Well, at least on your author page, it lists, I think, all of your books and then the different translations. So that's a good place to find your work. And now and did I see as well? I thought when I was looking that maybe you have a book that is coming out soon. Is that correct? Because I would be happy to share that here as well. German, Spanish, Portuguese, and Italian. Very cool. Who does your translation work for you? Is that like the publisher, I guess? Or do you have people that you hire to do it? Also, that's an interesting mix of languages. All right. Oh, boy. Okay. Got our last 10-minute timer pulled up here. I have one coming out on the 30th. That's so soon. Just a week away. How exciting. That is awesome. Bubble cube. Okay, that's really neat. I love that. Well then, Elizabeth, let's go ahead and do this last 10-minute sprint if you're going to stick around. And I'll switch over to my work. So the guy will start us off. that flew by pretty darn quick. Okay, still good. Still a good productive 10 minutes. I needed to convert a file. I need to convert 2 files, and I did so successfully so that I can start working on them tomorrow. Oscar hopped on just literally as we were wrapping up, but it's still good to see you here, Oscar. I guess I'm not sure where in the world you are located. But yes, now I need to hop into my work for the Dragonfly Home, the nonprofit that I co-founded. I have a transition activity all lined up to hop into my day job. Oh, you were in Italy. Okay, so you are, I think right now Italy would be 6 hours ahead of where I am because it's daylight savings here yet, and I don't think that you are on daylight savings yet. So it must be either 1:20 p.m. or 2:20 p.m. where you are located. I'm going to take a little 1:21. Okay. I'm going to take a little break. I'm going to grab a morning snack because I've already been awake for quite a while. I guess it's more like breakfast is what you might call it. I haven't really eaten yet. And then I'm going to transition in. Elizabeth, thank you so much for being here. I feel like you always bring a real productive vibe. You always get so much done. You finished all your social media. That's a good feeling too. Very glad to have you here. Oscar, great to see you here, even if it was just for a few minutes. I'm going to wrap up. I'm doing these sprints, just doing live streams every single day this week. Usually I've been doing Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, but I really wanted to tackle some big projects. So I will be back here 5:45 a.m. my time tomorrow, 6:45 for Elizabeth, and 11:45 a.m. for Oscar. Okay. Oh, thank you for subscribing, Oscar. I appreciate it. Yes. All right. Everybody have a wonderful day, and I'll see you another time.